Now that you all know how to retrieve data from the Express API using GET requests, I'm going to show you how you can create data using what is called a POST request. Now, let's say, for example, you want to create a resource on the backend, and that backend will save it to a database or save it to a file or save it just somewhere. Doesn't matter where it is. You want to create, let's say, a user. So your client, your front-end application will have a user form. They fill out their username, password, email, and other additional fields. Once they are ready, they will click that sign up button. When you click that sign up button, it will make an API request to the backend. Doesn't have to be necessarily an Express API server. It can be really any API server that's running that handles that post request. Okay, so the front end, the client side, would make an HTTP request, a post request to the server. Okay, once the server receives that request, the server needs to obviously be able to grab the data that we're trying to send from the client side to the backend. And that data that you're sending is known as a request body. So whenever you make post requests, the data that you want to send to the backend server, you send it via a payload or a request body. You use those terms synonymously. So payload, request body are interchangeable terms. The backend will then take that data and it will perform the necessary operations it needs. So typically validation, if it needs to do additional parsing, if it needs to make sure that it has the proper fields. It will do all that stuff before it can proceed with either saving it to a database or saving it to some external API source, whatever it is that it needs to do. Once it's done saving that record to the database or somewhere, it will return a 201 response, or a 201 status code, which typically just means that the resource was created. Sometimes it might also return the new record that was created, so that way if you need to use it on the client side for whatever reason, you can do so. Now, before we actually can make any post requests, we do need an HTTP client to actually make those requests and also be able to send a request body to our Express API. Because on the browser, there's no built-in tool that enables you to send request bodies, unless if you to write the code in the JavaScript console, but we're not going to do that. So there are different clients that you can use to interact with your API. So currently we've just been using the browser, which we're limited to just making GET requests by simply typing in the address in the address bar. We want to be able to make post requests where we can send actual data. Okay, so you can use tools like Postman. There's also Hopscotch, which is an alternative to Postman. For this tutorial, I'm going to keep things simple. I'm going to keep everything inside VS Code. And we're going to install this extension. So on the left-hand side, or wherever you have this extensions icon, just click on extensions. And you want to search for an extension called Thunder Client. And Thunder Client is a very lightweight REST API tool for VS Code. It's integrated in there. You just have to install it. And it allows you to make API calls to your Express server. So I'll go ahead and click install. Okay. And then I'm going to go just close this. And then let's go ahead. On the left-hand side, you should see the Thunder Client appear right over here as an icon. That's the Thunder Client. And I'll click on it. And now what I can do is I can create a new request by clicking on the new request button. And you can see now it looks kind of identical to Postman if you've used it before, or really any other REST client. But we have an address bar where we can type in the address or the URL that we want to make requests to. So I'll type in localhost port 3000 /API/users. I'll make a GET request, so I can select this dropdown and select GET, and I'll click send, and you can see that it gives us back the data just like that. Okay, and we're going to use this client to switch between different types of HTTP requests that we want to make. So we'll switch from GET to POST, and then in later videos when I show you how to handle put requests or delete requests, we will switch to these HTTP requests as well. Okay, so let's close this out. Just wanted to show you all how to set up Thunder Client. So now what I'm going to do is set up our post request to be able to create a brand new user. So what I'm going to do is right underneath my API/users route, I'll go ahead and reference the app variable. And since I want to register a post request, I'm going to go ahead and call the post method. So this method is very similar to all of the other HTTP verb methods such as get, put, delete. It takes in a path. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and pass in /API/users. Now you're probably wondering, well, should we be able to reuse the path? And the answer is yes, because you have a different HTTP request type being used. So this is for post request, and the one over here is for get requests. Okay, when your HTTP client is making requests, the server knows if it's making a get or a post request. So that way there's no confliction between these two different types of requests, despite the route being the same. So we'll also pass in a request and response, or we'll pass in the request handler function, which will have these two arguments, request and response. And then for now, I will just return a response.send. I'll just pass in a 200 status code, or I'll just pass in 200. And I'll just console log the request body, just so that we can see what our data is looking like when we send it from the client. So let's go back to Thunder client. So I'll click on the Thunderbolt icon. I'll click on new request, and up top where you see gets, just click on that drop down and select post. And we're going to change the URL, and we're going to type in localhost port 3000 /API/users. Okay, so once again we have two different types of HTTP methods, but they both use the same path. Okay, so whenever I call a post request to /API/users, I don't even need to send any data for now. It's just going to give me back a 200 status code. Now I can go into the body tab in my Thunder client, and I can select JSON if I want to send JSON. So if I try to send a request body, let's see what happens. Let's click send. So in the console log in our terminal, you can see that right now it's actually logging undefined. When I try to send it again, it still logs undefined. And you're probably wondering, well, what's going on with this? Why is it undefined? Well, the reason why it's undefined is because right now, by default, Express is not parsing those request bodies that are coming in. So whenever I am sending JSON to the Express server, the headers set the content type to application/JSON. Express doesn't parse those payloads by default, so we need to tell Express to do so. Now this is going to require us to use a middleware, so this is kind of like a brief little intro to middlewares, but don't worry so much about it. Once we actually get into the topic of middlewares, you'll better understand how they work. But all a middleware is just a function that is going to be invoked before certain API requests are being handled. So in my case, I want to make sure that right before my post request is being received, I want to make sure that that middleware that parses the JSON payload accordingly is being invoked. So you would typically want to register your middleware as early as possible. So the best way to do it is doing it up top after you create your Express app instance. So I'm going to go ahead and reference app, and I'm going to call the use method. And this is the method that you use to register middleware. And the middleware that we're going to register is actually already built into Express. So I can just reference Express and call this JSON method. Okay, so now you can even read over here. It looks at requests where the content type header matches the type option. So in this case, this is express.json. There's also other things that you can parse too. Like let's say if you're trying to send text, or if you're trying to send URL encoded or raw data. So hopefully that makes sense. So in our case, we'll keep it as JSON. And let's go ahead and see what happens if I send the request again. So let's go back into our Thunder client. I'll click send. I'll just click it again. And now watch this. You can see that in the console, it is logging that request request body that I am sending to the Express server. And I can literally add as many fields as I want. I can add a display name. Let's do Anton the dev. Click send again. And you can see that it is being logged right over here. Okay, perfect. All right, cool. Now let's go ahead and actually do something with the data. So like I said, right now we don't have an actual database. So all I'm going to do is just push this user to the array. So to do that, what we'll do is we'll assume that the request body is valid. But then in the next section, I'm going to show you how we can actually validate the request body. So I'm going to go ahead and create a variable called new user equals. So we need to actually grab all of the fields from the request body, but we also need to attach an ID to the request body. And once again, since we don't have a database to manage our IDs, because typically the database is responsible for generating those IDs, all I'm going to do is just take the last element, the last user in the mock user array, take the ID of that last user, add 1 to it, and assign that to the new user, the new user's ID. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll first do this mock users. So I'm just going to reference mock users, and then I'm going to want to get the last element, so mock users dot length -1. Okay, so the length of our array is going to be 7, and I want to reference the last element, so that's going to be at index 6, because remember, arrays are 0 indexed. And then we're going to reference ID and just add 1. I know this is kind of like a hacky way to do it, but I'm just doing it just for a very simple example. And then what I'll do is I'm just going to assign, or I'm going to destructure the request body. So I'm going to destructure body from the request object. And then I'll just simply use the spreader operator on the body object to take all of the fields from the body object and unpack it into this new object that I am creating that is assigned to new user. And then I'm just then going to reference mock users dot push new user, and then I'm going to go and just return the new user. And remember, we want to send back a status code of 200, or I'm sorry, 201, because if I were to send this right now, you can see that I do get back the user, but it sends me back a 200. And for good practice, you want to make sure the post request sends a 201. So I can just set response.status, call the status method, and pass in 201, and then call .send. So we did this in an earlier part of the tutorial where we were making GET requests right over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this out. Click send. All right, so you can see whenever I click send, it will just keep creating a new user, and it'll send it back to the client, which is this Thunder client, as a response, and it has the ID auto incremented. So that's pretty cool.